Hello, my name is Dr. Elonda Wilson, and today I'm going to be addressing myths and stigmas around mental health and addiction. Hey everyone, let's talk about something that doesn't get addressed nearly enough: the myths and stigmas surrounding mental health and addiction. These misconceptions can hold people back from getting the help that they need, and that's something we definitely need to change. I'm going to talk about 5 myths. Myth number 1: mental illness is a sign of weakness. I've heard people say, if you're mentally strong, you won't struggle with anxiety, depression, or any other mental health issues. That's just not true. Mental illness isn't a weakness, it's a health condition, just like diabetes or high blood pressure. Seeking help when you're struggling doesn't make you weak, it makes you strong. Myth number 2: addiction is a choice or a moral failing. This is one that really needs to stop. Addiction isn't about bad choices or lack of willpower. It's a chronic disease. Sure, someone may choose to take that first drink or drug, but addiction changes the brain. It's driven by so many factors like trauma, genetics, environment. Let's normalize supporting people to seek the help that they need rather than blaming them. Myth number 3: therapy and medication don't work. I hear this one all the time. Why bother with therapy? It's just talking, or I don't want to take medication and become dependent. But here's the thing: therapy works, medication works. For many people, they're lifesavers. Healing isn't one size fit all, but these tools can make a huge difference if used the right way. Myth number 4: you can just snap out of it. You probably heard someone say, just cheer up or stop overthinking. But mental health issues don't work like that. You can't just flip a switch and make them disappear. It takes time, effort, and often professional help to work through these challenges. Let's stop oversimplifying something that is so complex. And finally, myth number 5: addiction only happens to certain people. There's this idea that addiction only happens to a specific group, maybe people in poverty or who don't have it all together. But the truth is, addiction doesn't care who you are. It can happen to anyone: your neighbor, your sister, brother, your coworker, even the person you least expect. The good news, though, is that recovery is possible for everyone too. Why stigmas are so harmful? It doesn't just make people feel ashamed, but it stops them from reaching out for help. It isolates them and spreads false information that keeps us stuck in judgment instead of compassion. So, what can we do to break the stigma? I'll give you some tips. Educate yourselves, educate others. Take the time to learn the facts about mental health and addiction. When you hear myths or stereotypes, gently correct them with the truth. Be careful with your words. Instead of saying things like, well, they're an addict, try saying they're struggling with an addiction. Language matters. It reminds us that people are more than their struggles. Start conversations. The more we talk about mental health and addiction, the more we normalize it. If you got your own story, consider sharing it. It might encourage someone else to get help. Support change. Use your voice. Advocate for better access to care. Push for policies that prioritize mental health and addiction recovery in your community. Show compassion. At the end of the day, kindness does go a long way. You don't have to fix everything. Just letting someone know that you're there for them can make all the difference. Finally, here's the takeaway. Mental health and addiction are not personal failings. They're health issues, and they deserve the same care, support, and understanding as any physical illness. If you're struggling or you know someone who is, know this: help is available. You are not alone. Let's keep these conversations going. Let's keep breaking the stigma, and let's create a world where people feel safe asking for help. Thanks for watching, and let's keep moving forward together.